So the car we're driving right now is a 2023 Toyota Fortuner GRS, and this is the most expensive as well as the most comfortable and sportiest Fortuner that you can currently get in the Philippines. Let's take a look at just what exactly makes this car special. But first, the powertrain. So you have a 2.8 liter turbocharged diesel engine under the hood, and this one right here makes 204 horsepower and 500 Newton meters of torque, making it the second most powerful car in its class. It's also made it to a 6-speed automatic transmission, and for fuel economy figures, it's actually not that far off compared to the 2.4 liter version. You can do around 7.6 kilometers per liter in the city and about 15.6 kilometers per liter on the highway. Excellent, right? Anyway, let's first check out what makes this Fortuner GRS special by taking a look at the exterior, interior, as well as its cargo space. So what exactly do you get right here on the outside? Here at the rear, you get a two-tone spoiler effect. You have the sill plate of Fortuner, originally in chrome, but now you have it body colored. But since you can only get the Fortuner GRS in white, it will always be white. LED tail lamps with sequential turn signals, parking sensors, a reverse camera, and you even have a slightly different diffuser. It's a very sporty looking diffuser right here. And under the car, you even get monotube shocks all around, which supposedly improves your ride as well as your handling. Let's check it out later on in the latter part of the drive. Over towards the side of the Fortuner GRS, your door handles, they are body colored too instead of chrome. Personally, I do love chrome, but I guess for the sporty aspects of it, this one works better. Somewhat of a floating roof effect with this two-tone color scheme right here. You also get high gloss black rims, and if you take a look at your brake calipers, they all say GR all around, and they are painted in red too. Looks absolutely beautiful. Now, one main problem right here though is that I do find the rims to be sticking out a little bit too far out, and your tires are a little bit too thin. If you do hit the curb, well, then you have to be very careful right here. These look very expensive. Another thing to point out right here is that although you do have this sun visor right here, well, this is just optional and it doesn't really come with your Toyota Fortuner GRS. Blacked out mirrors with repeaters, as well as a camera down below for your 360-degree view camera. The front fascia looks absolutely stunning. Revised bumper with a GR badge. You get a camera right there as well. Split type LED headlights with LED DRLs and also sequential turn signals. You also get an LED fog light right here. The interior also gets a lot of the Gazoo racing treatment right here. So your steering wheel gets a lot of perforations, red stitching, and you even have a stripe up top. The seats are also not leather nor cloth, so they're a mix of leather as well as some sort of suede or alcantara right here by the middle to kind of hold you in place. Speaking of the seats, they are quite comfortable, and the driver's seat is 8-way power adjustable, including the passenger seat, 8-way power adjustable as well. An 8-inch screen by the center, very responsive. This is also where you'll find your 360-degree view camera as well as your reverse camera, and you also do get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It is a shame that you do need this wire though, because it is not wireless. Up top, there is no sunroof, which is a little bit of a shame considering the price of this vehicle, which I shall tell you later, but at least you do get an amazing sounding and 9-speaker JBL sound system. You even get a subwoofer at the back, which I will also show you later. Cubby spaces. Okay, this upper glove box gets an air vent right there, so it does keep your drinks cool. You also get your regular glove box, 2 cup holders by the center, and a big jug holder on the side. You even do get dual zone climate control right here. Your 4 high, 4 low, and 2 high. You get downhill assist control, basically hill descent control, and you even get a wireless charging pad right here. For the materials aspect of it, well, it's not exactly the best. So your dashboard, yeah, that is hard touch plastic, but yeah, it does sound pretty durable. What doesn't feel durable though is this automatic dimming rear view mirror. It feels kind of flimsy, but yes, it is automatically dimming. And down here by your shifter, all this faux carbon fiber trim, that also feels pretty cheap. But hey, let's go back to that shifter. So it's a regular shifter with manual mode. Alternatively, you can shift with your very plastic but silver painted paddle shifters, and you also get eco, normal, and sport mode buttons right here. Now for the GR badges, let's count it. So 1 by the bottom of your steering wheel, 1 each on either headrests of the front seats, 1 each on your floor mats on either sides, and you also have it on your stop start button. Ingress towards the rear, especially for elderly people, could be a little bit of a struggle because you do not have grab handles by your B pillar. But anyway, let's check the door. Sounds about okay. Over here at the back seats, you get tons of space in terms of legroom, but headroom could be a little bit better. You also do get this center armrest right here with 2 cup holders. You have a place to put your phone, you get 2 USB outlets, and you have a controller for the blower for your air vents. The seats also get the same stitching and leather and suede combination as the front seats, and you can even slide these seats forwards, and you can also recline them. Here at the third row, it is expected the space is pretty limited. However, the good thing about the Fortuner is that although you get limited legroom, the rear part of the second row seats are pretty soft, so you can kind of jam your knees on it. And you can also ask the second row passengers to kindly please move their seats a little bit forward. You do get air vents up top though on either sides, which is pretty good. And just in case you truly need to carry an 8th passenger in a jiffy, you can kind of do it. It's not going to be fun, but yes, you can kind of definitely squeeze a third person here at the back. But what the third row doesn't have though is the red stitching and the leather and suede combination. So this is just pure leather here at the back. So no GR treatment for the third row seats. For cargo space, well, the Toyota Fortuner GRS does get a power tailgate, but Toyota says that this also comes with that kick function that lets you hands-free open up this power tailgate. Unfortunately, I couldn't seem to make it work, so I don't know if it's broken or it's just kind of hard to find the exact place right here. Anyway, cargo space is okay, it is ample, but it doesn't have a flat floor, it doesn't have a flat loading area, so it still has this very ancient type of fold to the side seats. If you have, let's say, big balikbayan boxes, you might struggle putting them here at the back. Nonetheless, one cool thing you do get back here is that you do get a subwoofer mounted by your rear tailgate. So back to driving the Toyota Fortuner GRS, and the first thing I truly noticed right here, coming from a Toyota Fortuner 2.4V from back in 2016, which I've been daily driving, is that it's a lot more effortless. So since you have this 2.8 liter instead of the 2.4 liter, it doesn't really stress, it doesn't really have to rev that much higher just to get you up to speed. And that really does translate to a completely different driving experience. It's a lot quieter in here, it's a lot more refined. And also, what I really love about this Fortuner GRS is that it has game-changing shocks right here. So remember the monotube shock setup that I told you about that you have all around the vehicle? So the biggest complaint that I have, and pretty much every single person out there has about the Toyota Fortuner, while it is reliable and amazing and all that, it is incredibly matagtag. It has an incredibly firm and bouncy ride. In the Toyota Fortuner GRS, while the ride is still firm, it is no longer bouncy. It doesn't throw you all around the cabin, no matter if you are on good roads, bad roads, or even if you go over pretty high speed bumps. And that's not the only thing that these shocks do. So with these monotube shocks, your handling is also significantly increased for the better. So once you throw this Fortuner GRS over a bend, over corners, it is a lot more composed. And even on the highway, it doesn't really like shake on about, it doesn't really get pushed by crosswinds that much compared to the non-monotube shock version Fortuner. So this is really an amazing upgrade right here. What Toyota didn't upgrade though with the Fortuner GRS, despite giving you better handling, is your steering. So this still uses the traditional and very typical Fortuner steering setup, which is incredibly heavy. But for those who are looking for a more traditional feel, a more old school hydraulic feel, well, then you will enjoy the steering setup right here. However, if you often drive the Fortuner inside the city, well, yeah, you can find the steering to be a little bit too heavy for your liking. The Fortuner GRS, as mentioned earlier, also gets upgraded brakes, so you get those red painted GR badge brake calipers. But when you are driving this car, does it feel any better? Well, honestly, no. It feels relatively similar to a bog standard Toyota Fortuner. And it also has that very similar braking feel that is grabby, so you truly have to incredibly modulate your step on the brake. If not, you're gonna find yourself being like that, jerk forward at every depress of the brake pedal. Well, other things right here in terms of refinement, vibrations are not too apparent. It is actually pretty good. Harshness, as mentioned, it's also completely better compared to a regular Fortuner. And in terms of noise, well, it isn't exactly different from a regular Fortuner, except for the aforementioned slight increase in quietness when it comes to the engine not having to rev that much more. And wind noise and tire noise is still very much apparent when you are going at higher speeds. The Fortuner also has this one problem that I wish Toyota addressed over the years, but they never did. It's that when these seat belts are unbuckled, no matter which side it is, passenger side, at the rear, or even the driver's side, the latch, the buckle, tends to get caught in between the seat sides, as well as this B-pillar that is covered in plastic. So it really just rattle on about, and it is quite annoying. But what Toyota has really improved on a lot with these newer Fortuners, and especially for the GRS, is the addition of Toyota Safety Sense. So you get adaptive cruise control, autonomous emergency braking, pre-collision warning, rear cross traffic alert, lane departure warning, as well as blind spot monitoring. And it really vastly improves your highway driving experience. So that, coupled with 7 airbags, makes it a very safe car. And that, coupled with this very powerful engine, gives you very seamless overtakes on the highway. This is a very powerful car indeed. However, since your adaptive cruise control is a little bit of a retrofit in the slightly older chassis, it's not as advanced as some of its competitors currently. And what do I mean by that? For example, its adaptive cruise control doesn't get low speed follow. So if you're going on the highway going 60 and above, yeah, fine, no problem. But the very moment it dips below like 40 or 35, it'll automatically disengage. So if you are not paying attention and you're just letting your adaptive cruise control take the wheel for you, well, then you could possibly smash into the car in front of you. While the Toyota Fortuner GRS doesn't get that major of an upgrade compared to a bog standard Fortuner, the fact that it has those monotube shocks right here completely transforms how this car right here feels. So at 5,000 pesos shy of 2.6 million pesos, at 2,595,000 pesos, is the Toyota Fortuner GRS a good car? Absolutely so. Is it a car that feels vastly different from a conventional Fortuner? Absolutely so. But is it worth paying the extra amount of money compared to a standard Toyota Fortuner, or even to a Fortuner LTD? Well, that is something that only you can answer. However, if you do truly want a Toyota Fortuner for everything that it stands for, the muscular looks as well as the reputation of reliability, but you also want the best possible Fortuner out there, then the Toyota Fortuner GRS might just be the car for you.